every morning, especially Sir Eḍ. Good morning, sir. Today I will discuss about Buddhism with opinion and facts. With half a billion followers, the world's fourth largest religion, Buddhism, a faith or philosophy that aims to overcome suffering and achieve a state of inner peace and wisdom. It was founded by the followers of Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, more than 2,500 years ago in India. Siddhartha Gautama was born a hand of France into a wealthy family in 5th century BCE, present-day in Nepal. Although he had an easy life, he was moved by suffering in the world. He decided to give up his lavish lifestyle and endure poverty, yet they did not fulfill. He started therefore to promote the idea of the middle way, a life lived between the two extremes, without social indulgence but also without deprivation. Buddhists believe that after 6 years of searching, Siddhartha found enlightenment. While meditating under a Bodhi tree underwent to spend the rest of his life teaching others on how to reach the state of nirvana, which were all suffering ceases. When the Buddha passed away, his followers began to organize his teaching, which were passed on orally until their transcription around the 1st century BCE. It is therefore difficult to say to what extent his discourses have been preserved, as they, relatively similar to Hindu's, Buddhists believe in a will of rebirth, where souls are reincarnated, the concept of karma, or the law of cause and effect. Although Hinduism was the dominant religion of the region, Buddhism appealed to people of lower castes because it emphasized individual path to enlightenment and salvation, which could be attained in their current lives rather than future ones. Rising Buddhism was developed in response to what was perceived as the failure of Hinduism to address the needs of the people, and while it may be considered an offshoot of Hinduism, it rejected the caste system, abolished rituals, priesthood, and even gods. The ultimate goal of Buddhism is the liberation from suffering of repeated cycles of birth, mundane life, and death, called samsara. This blowing out of worldly suffering is known as nirvana and can be achieved using the methods of the Buddha known as the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Noble Truths revolve around the understanding on why to suffer and how to end suffering. Through the Eightfold Path of the Middle Way, the Eightfold Path is referred to as a well of Dharma, a collection of ideas done by the Buddha on how to end suffering through simple steps including right intention, right speech, and right action, among others. Buddhists live by 5 moral precepts. They are against the killing of living things, abusing drugs and alcohol, stealing, sexual misconduct, and lying. Followers of Buddhism don't acknowledge a supreme god or deity. They instead focus on the proven path of the achieved nirvana. Buddhism proceeded to spread from Magadha and Kosala throughout much of India. The 3rd century BCE, it has gained the favor of the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka, designated Buddhism as the state religion of India, and his support led to the constructions. During the 5 centuries between the fall of the Mauryan dynasties and the rise of the Gupta dynasty, Buddhism entered China via the Silk Trade routes, is blended with a Chinese philosophy called Taoism, and became assimilated into Chinese culture. Also, Mahayana, one of the two prominent sects of Buddhism, became the most popular. The 6th century saw the invasion of India by the Huns, a pro-Mongolic people that destroyed hundreds of Buddhist monasteries. Not long after the Huns were driven out, Islam began to spread rapidly in the region, forcing. Although Islam and a revitalized Hinduism were the major religion of India, Buddhism did remain influential in areas such as Northeast India, Thailand, and Tibet. In Tibet, Buddhism is still the most popular philosophy. That leading monk of Buddhism is called Dalai Lama and has always been the political governor of Tibet until the Chinese took control in 1959. Today, China, followed by Thailand, have the largest population of Buddhism in the world. The religion was introduced into the West by a large number of migrants from China and other South Asian countries, and the influence is growing there as well. The origin idea behind what the Buddha do might be some of the long extended rumor of what he said on his deathbed: "Be your own light, do not look for the light in another. Light your own way in the dark."